Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Stop it.
We have conversation going on over here trying to talk to us. The dogs are out and
Who let the dogs out? It was Lynn.
No.
Lynn let the dogs out.
Yeah, I did.
You did let the dogs out.
let them out.
Don't lie to
So
the nice
they
people.
are
Get
below.
your face out of my purse.
Our table is a bar height table, so you can't see their heads. Although their heads are normal table height, just not bar height.
But
So
they are
over
much
here
more
checking us out.
likely to be bar height than my dog.
I have tall dogs.
He's a shoddy.
I like tall dogs.
Puppies.
They may leave us.
Okay,
so we're here to talk about art books, which is one of my very favorite things. I love
that's
art.
why she
stuff.
has all the art books, and I have a art book.
We don't have the second camera because we figured out what our problem was.
Was that we didn't actually have the right second camera.
Yeah. We kept using the wrong separate camera and it wouldn't work. So there you go.
But we shall overcome and persevere. And we've got links to all the books we're talking about in the show notes. So if you guys want to click through, you can see them on Amazon. Of course, we'll hold them up on camera here.
Absolutely. Yes. So what have you been up to lately? I haven't seen you in like a while.
Right now, I'm Instagramming the fact that we're doing this.
All right. Well, there it is.
Ooh.
That's exciting.
I have been working a lot.
I have too. You've kept me busy.
Yeah.
Again, she has this to-do list and I've been trying to check stuff off.
It's a to-do app.
Exactly. It's kind of a cool app, actually. I like it. I like it because now I've figured out I can assign things back to her. That's what I like about it.
In the same project. We can even assign stuff to our producer.
There you go. I think my husband's a little upset because we figured out how to assign stuff to him. So,
I didn't know I could do that.
Oh, I thought you could. I thought he got a bunch of stuff from you.
No,
maybe it was just emails. You got some emails. You wanted him to do the new stuff.
New intro.
Oh,
new intro for season 5.
Right,
Coming
soon. But what was I going to tell you? I was really excited about it. Oh, I got recognized yesterday. I had gone to Hobby Lobby in the area. And
Ooh.
I know, I like Hobby Lobby. And I was buying some markers. And so I'm looking at the markers, and this lady walks by me and she goes, "Are you Lynn?" And I went, and I choked on my gum. I went, I totally did. It was classy. I went,
yeah.
Yep, I'm Lynn. Like, it was so good. So anyway, her name's Penny, and she enjoys watching our show. So thank you for watching, Penny. So shout out to her. And she enjoys doing scrappy quilts. So I did chat with her for a couple of minutes.
And you didn't actually spit your gum on her?
No.
Well, that's good.
I joked on it because it was like, I was concentrated, apparently very focused on the markers. So that was the deal there. So anyway. So, and I have been working. I'm getting better at Adobe Illustrator.
Yay! Oh yes, she has. She's been kicking some butt on Adobe Illustrator.
I am not at the next level, but I'm like creeping up on maybe the next level.
What level were you at?
I think
green.
I can open it. That's the level I was at. I can open the
app. We couldn't do that because we had old computers.
That's true.
We bought some new computers beginning this year. It's amazing.
It's amazing. So I can now open it, and I had a really old
straight line.
Those are hard. Straight lines.
Snap to grid, honey.
Snap to grid. I turned that off. That was bugging me. Whew. So, but I have I don't know how to pronounce it, but is it Wacom or
yes, Wacom?
Wacom. Wacom. I would have called it Wacom. So we have an old Wacom tablet, and I downloaded the drivers, and oh my gosh, I can draw on the. It was that was fun learning. I've enjoyed learning it. It's been kind of cool. So I've been working on something that will be introduced at Market, hopefully.
Probably festival more than Market, but we'll be rocking it at Market.
Oh yeah, definitely. So it's a big surprise, and I think everybody's gonna like it. I really liked what I was able to put together. Yes. Did you like it?
I did.
She did. Yeah. So I sent her the final drawings today, and I was like, I think this is gonna work. So anyway, big surprise. Hold out for that. Look at announcements like November, probably late October.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, we'll have to
So-
figure out how to drop some hints.
Yes, it's going to be so different than anybody else has ever done. So just,
I got some good ideas for some hints.
so this will be fun. It'll be totally fun. So,
lots of shout out. Hey, everybody. We got
from California, Texas.
More California, Missouri, Minnesota, Mississippi. Ooh, all the M's crammed in there at the end.
I would bet Barbara maybe from, I wonder if she's from Georgia, California,
she's home
Missouri.
tonight, so
there you go.
She could be whooping it up in England.
Exactly. So how fun.
Awesome.
Boston.
Hi.
We were talking about Boston earlier.
We were
chatting about Boston. I said, I've gotten lost the last few times I've been there. I did not have a good time in Boston.
Am I going back? Yes, I am going back to Boston in September.
I need to go with somebody who knows the city.
Oh, I got a girl. We can hook you up.
Yeah, because I think I love history and I'm into all of that. And I just think that I didn't enjoy Boston, and I think the history of Boston I would love.
Yeah.
I just didn't get a good experience.
I
was there for work though, so let's
say the worst part's getting from the airport to the place you're going.
And that was why I didn't enjoy it. And the big dig was happening. So
it's done now.
And nothing was marked. It was bad.
Now it's
anyway. I've heard it's better. Yes. Yeah. So Phoenix, Arizona, New York,
Brazil,
Connecticut. Oh, I miss Brazil. Oh, I see it now.
Donna.
Yeah, there you go.
Amazing. Well, let's talk about some art quilts because that's why the people are here, aside from the witty banter.
Okay.
So, true confession, I got one book. Lynn has a bunch. So,
I was gonna, I checked them out at the local guild meeting, and I was gonna do that, and then I got so many out of my library. I went, probably don't have to check any.
Probably good. Don't need to risk those.
Probably good. This one is a weird one, and okay, so if you're an artist, I really believe that, and maybe it's just me, I don't read books as much as I look at the pictures. And for this kind of stuff,
I was gonna say that makes it hard for novels. But cool.
I read lots of novels. I read lots of novels.
Look at the cover. I imagine the story. Everyone's happy. Yay!
Happy ending. Good job. No, but this one is it's a portfolio, and it's put out by SAQA, which is the Studio Art Quilt Association, and you can belong to this. And I think you can get this if you belong to SAQA.
There are some on Amazon. So this is 16. The link to the one in the show notes, I believe, is for issue 21. So it'll be different from this, but it gets you the idea.
Because they put this out every year. So this is just one that I picked up. And really, it has 0 directions.
It's just eye candy.
It's total eye candy. And it's just different. All different kinds of quilts, all different types of quilts, but these are members of SAQA.
It looks like big lips.
And so, lips? I don't know. It's called Transition.
Well, okay.
So these are just all different kinds of quilts from studio quilt fiber artists. And it's just total eye candy. And some of them are realistic, and some of them are abstract. And I like this, and they're not, I think if you find them, so this is going to be different from 21 or 20 or whatever. And I think if you find them, it's just, they're not real expensive because most of them, when you find them, are used. And I bought this off of someone who turned it into an art, or, like a used book sale.
Yeah.
So I didn't pay very much for it. But for me, it was just great eye candy to go, hey, I kind of like those flowers. I wonder if I could interpret that. And there's no, of course, instructions on how to do any of this. It's just quilts from quilt artists. So great eye candy, great. But these are the portfolio from the Studio Art Quilt Association. And you can belong to it. I think it's kind of expensive. Like it's like $100 a year.
Do you have to be juried in though?
There's 2 different levels.
Oh, okay.
There one level you just join as a member, and I think you can get the book with the membership. But I think it's like $100. I think it's expensive. I haven't looked at it in a long time. Truthfully, I don't belong. And just because I think it was so expensive at the time, I was like, oh, I don't know that I want to pay the money. And then you can apply to be juried in. And if you do that, then there's more, they show your work in shows, and there's just more prestige to it also. And I think it connects you up to more of a art dealership kind of, or art market type of level. So, and I have to admit, I don't know a ton about it, but I do like the eye candy of the portfolio books.
Yes.
Very fun to look at. And again, from realistic to abstract and all different, it looks like all different kinds of technique, and just kind of fun to look at. And it just gives you, I think for me, it just gives me ideas going, I have a picture of a flower I really like. I could
either
interpret
composition or
right.
realism. Yeah.
Or just theme. I hadn't thought about doing that, or, but you do your take on it. Don't mimic this, but it's your, interpretation of it, or your inspiration. It's inspirational kind of thing. So yeah, that's my first one. Do you want another one?
Yes.
Yes. The answer is yes.
Save mine. My one.
Your one. Okay. The next one I have is fabric embellishment, or embellishing the basics and beyond. Actually, if you want to do some stuff with fabric, this is fascinating. It goes through all different kinds of fabrics, from paper collage, weaving, embroidery, stamping, angelica fibers. This talks about tons of different elements or materials that you would use. And it goes through, these are really good step-by-step instructions with pictures. It's in a I love it when they are bound like this, where you can spiral bound, where you can lay it flat open. Shows you how to do folding techniques.
So angelica fibers are what, for the people that don't know? They look like long strings of tinsel, like you put on your Christmas tree. Yeah. They're a little skinnier, but they bind by heat. Is that right?
They do.
So you use you like spread some on your thing. You put an applique pressing sheet on it. You put the heat of your iron on it. It fuses the fibers together. So you use it a lot to make like hair. Like this is a particular yarn, but you could kind of mimic that look,
right?
With these metallic.
I've seen
fibers.
People use it like the silver or white ones as like the bottom part of a waterfall.
Yeah. And
they would do, kind of, it bubbles up there. They would do kind of a grouping of that to make it look like it was more, it makes it look like light is reflecting off of the water, because the angelica fiber has this kind of iridescent kind of
like a sheen to it.
Yeah, sheen to it. But this one, if you were looking for a great basic, I want to do some art with my quilts and I want to know some different techniques, fabric embellishments, I think is a great, and I think you can see some of the stuff that I do, and I definitely use this kind of thing.
None of those.
None of those. Okay. This is,
I got the bucket.
The bucket. So here's the deal. Like, we just released this postcard class.
Weaving in it.
Yeah. We just released this postcard class, and I did like 5 different postcards with different techniques. Like this was one of the ones I taught you, which is the weaving that she just showed you, only in a different color.
Oh, and that one has the dyeing.
Yeah, I did dyeing on that one. So I did a bunch of different techniques, and some of them I got from this book. I mean, some of them I got from, these are just great, basic kind of what can I do with fiber, what's out there kind of techniques.
Now, this is one of her new ones. It's not in the class, but she talks about thread painting in there. So you could totally mimic this tree based on what's in the book, what's in the video class, all that good stuff.
I think, and this is going to be a little bit, but I think I was looking at that as maybe developing the next level or whatever but that was fun, thread painting. And there's some stuff I was just testing out with it. The thing I love about postcards, y'all, is that they're a small commitment.
Yes. You
can try out the new technique, the new whatever, but do it on a postcard, and it's cute, it's done, and it's, and 4.5 by 5. That's all you've spent on it. You're not committing to this, 70 by 80 quilt.
And if it's horrible, it's real easy to fit in your trash can.
Exactly. That is true. That is a true statement. But fabric embellishment, the basics and beyond, I really, this is a great, in fact, I'm glad I got it off the shelf because I was like, ooh, I need to look at that again. And it was one of those great, look at it books kind of thing. All right. The next one is Art Plus Quilt. This is Lyric Kennard's book. I've taken classes from Lyric Kennard. She is incredible quilt artist. She's incredible artist, period. And one of the classes I took from her were it was a day of exploration of all these different techniques, from printing on fabric to carving stamps to stamp on fabric to using different mediums to take from photographs to print on fabric. I mean, it was just, and then we did beading. Actually, this was signed by her. Ooh. But she does a great job of, talking about the creative process, the muse, not to have excuses. And then she breaks down elements of art. She spends a little more time with the drawing and inspirational, like layout, design, kind of inspirational stuff. She does talk about quilting. Like, these are different background quilting stuff, but it's a great, she talks about color. So this is, to me, more design strategies than necessarily in technique strategies. I mean, it has some of that stuff in here. I'm not going to say it's not there, but this fabric embellishment goes to the next level. This is a great, if you look about composition, like if you're like, I don't know where I should put the tree. Does the tree go right in the center? Does it go offside? What should I put next to it? Composition, color, that's going to be more addressed in this than in the other one. The other one's all about play with stuff,
Mm-hmm.
So, but this is a great book. Lyric Kennard, if you get a chance, take a class from her. I think she's teaching at Houston. I think I saw she's teaching at Houston.
Okay.
Yeah, there's an artist I want to take at Houston. I got to ask Pam if I can.
It's not on the list.
I know it's not on the
spreadsheet.
list or the spreadsheet. I'm like, she's getting old and I need to take a class. That's true with some quilters out there, y'all. There's some really talented quilters out there that if you don't get out and take their classes,
they are retiring.
They're retiring, and we're losing a great whatever set of knowledge. The art quilt collection, I think this is just eye candy too. I'm sure it is. Yeah, this is another just art eye candy. It's not necessarily step by step. I think there's a limited amount.
Literally, there is a page in there that says step by step hand dyed fibers. As she said that, I'm like,
right, but that's like the only one. I'm pretty sure that's the only one. But it's more eye candy stuff. Kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And if they do have directions, it's like a page, not beautiful little bit of here or there. This one's hard to hold. I think it's because the
jacket
sleeves on it. Yeah, that's what makes it hard to hold.
We're casual. Take your jacket off.
Okay. I like this technique.
Oh, I like ocean quilts.
Yeah.
One day I want to make one of those quilts that it actually looks like the wave crashing. And I've seen so many gorgeous ones done.
Ooh, look at that one. Isn't that pretty?
A little William Morrissey.
Again, this one's abstract, realistic. It's just, again, art candy. Total art candy. I think I need your help. Here. Look. So, but the art quilt collection, and it's by Linda Seward, or that's who did the forward.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's by. I like eye candy. Again, these aren't stuff that aside from that fabric embellishment one, maybe these other two. All right, do yours. I've talked through 4.
So Anne says,
yes.
The Quilt Expo that Nancy Zeman started is in September, and have we heard of it? I think it's the Wisconsin one, if I'm correct,
if it's a Quilt Expo, I've heard of it. I didn't know it was in.
Well, it's separate from ASQE. That's different. It's not Original Sewing and Quilt Expo.
Oh, then no, I didn't know
She may
about
have
it.
started the one that happens in Wisconsin, and they built on from that. But
right. But isn't Bill and Weeks, don't they teach there? Because they were good friends with Nancy. I think they teach at that. And I think I saw that they were going to that and teaching there. And if you get to take a class from Bill and Weeks.
Bill, Karen, Weeks, Ringle.
Right.
Of Modern Quilt Studio.
Right. Go do it. Like, yes. I don't care if you make modern quilts. Go take their class.
Yeah. Just for their
design
composition.
Oh, they're so great. And nice people.
I hope I actually get to meet Weeks. Like,
I've met her a couple of times. But yeah, last time we were at festival, we only got to see Weeks is her first name. And
I was Bill's bathroom fairy.
No, she was.
Because I wasn't tied to a booth, so I would like go to our friends and be like, "Do you need a break? I will watch your booth." And he was like,
so thank you.
I rescued a lot of people.
I was teaching, so she was like she went around we try to be nice to our friends. We're nice to people, not just our friends. People. Be nice to people.
I like hawk scissors at the Famori booth for a while. I think my name was
Teresa.
Was it Teresa?
I don't know.
It was a fake name. I remember. I don't remember what it was. Brandy. It was Brandy.
Oh, Brandy.
It was Brandy. What a fine girl.
Yeah, Weeks Ringle. Weeks is her first name. Her last name's Ringle, and Bill Kerr. Yep. And they're wonderful, nice people. They do the Modern Quilt Studio and love their fabric, love their knowledge, love. That's not, no.
Sandra, the word floater connotes other things, but I understand what you're saying.
Get my tea.
So, my book.
Okay, your book.
Get ready.
I'm ready.
So, let me first preface by saying the reason I have this book was that at a certain point in my quilting career, was very caught up in the idea of like no scrap goes to waste. And so I would save the bits and I would put them in pet beds. And
I remember you doing this.
Yeah, so I would do that quite a bit.
It's an interesting technique, what you did.
It makes them lumpy. But then I would get like, oh, this is a nice batik and I don't want to shove it in a pet bed. And I would save the snippets. And so our friend Jay, who goes by the moniker Art Quilt Maker for all of her online presence, was like, you should check out Snippet Sensations. And
I don't have this book.
And the premise is that you use all the little tiny snippets of fabric as mosaic, basically. And so you have a base of fused interfacing, and you are, it doesn't have to be fused interfacing. It could be like Misty Fuse, like a real lightweight fusible. But here is like the original painting, the Kiss. And then here is an artistic creation of it as a quilt using this technique.
Now, these are not quilts that you will ever sleep under.
No.
They are literally glued pieces of fabric onto a background. They are not, they're not to be washed. It is an art quilt.
And so here again, you can tell there's a watercolor painting, and then here is a quilt made with this technique inspired by the watercolor. Mm-hmm. And so Monet as a painter and Van Gogh are artists that
I would say the Impressionists.
Yes.
As a whole.
Yes.
Degas.
But it's got
Manette.
The instructions on the actual process. So like what you lay down to create the base and what kind of fabric works best. And then you can tell it's got like some detail here and like how to set up your station and, you know, what makes a good composition of fabric pieces. And so I have used this for an actual art quilt.
Mm-hmm. Didn't you do a fish?
I did. So my daughter, who is an artist in her own right, but in kindergarten was just
pretty
good at, you know, stuff. And so she had done this painting, and it was like normal school acrylic paints. And it was, you know, 9 by 11 piece of paper. And she painted the ocean. And so there's lots of blues and greens, and there's like some big seaweed things. And then there's a fish, and it's a goldfish.
Mm-hmm.
And for whatever reason, this goldfish is very angry looking. And it just made me laugh.
She had an angry day that day.
So it's the angry goldfish. And it just made me laugh. And I thought, oh, I want to try this technique. And so I had used the snippets for the foundation of the ocean. I had a lot of different blue batiks, and so I could lay them out in like kind of undulating patterns. And then I had just some bigger pieces of the green batik that I laid out as the seaweed. And then I had, you know, a nice orange piece for the fish, and I made him grumpy too. And the quilt's like the exact same size as the painting. And I had thought at one point I would mount them both on the same canvas, but I just love it so much that I took my quilt with me, and it hangs on my desk at work. And so people that walk by are like,
why do you have an angry fish?
Why do you have an angry goldfish at your desk? Now, bear in mind, I also have a clay piece that she had made in art class that she hates and she wanted to throw away, but I like took it to my office so she wouldn't. And it's this very disturbed looking frog that's just like, and I just keep it right under my monitor because that's how I feel at work sometimes. Just, ugh. And it just makes you happy. It just makes me laugh.
I like those. I like those. That's a great idea for kids art though, because they could almost help you with this technique. And I've gotten some stuff from my sister because, you know, today in the school systems, they like have, I don't know if it's a fundraiser or not, but every year I get like a piece of fabric with, it's printed with my niece or nephew's artwork on it.
Huh.
And I'm like, well, I could take that and add to it with this technique or something. That'd be kind of cool.
Now, my kids' elementary school was different. They would have the kids draw like a 20 by 20, maybe.
I don't know how big it is. I know what mine is like an 8-inch square.
On a pizza box. And it was a fundraiser with the pizza place near us. And so you could call up and be like, I would like the so-and-so, you know, Cobb special. And they would deliver the pizza to your house with the artwork on it that your kid drew.
Oh, that's cute. No, this was, they would put it on magnets and you got it on fabric. I mean, she's given me several different things that I think it's a fundraiser of they take their artwork and print them on different marketing type of things. Yeah.
So particularly with batiks, because with print fabrics, you want to lay them down usually with the printed side of the fabric up, or it doesn't quite get the same effect, the depth. So I really only cut up my batiks into this, and it's been a while since I did it, but I still have Ziploc baggies full of like, here's the light greens, here's the dark greens, here's the blues, here's the purples. Yeah. So I still have Ziplocs full of snippets if you need some.
That's a good idea. Like I could do that making out of one of Lily's paintings, or although my sister was kind of frustrated. She was like, she loves it that the kids make art. She gets frustrated when she can tell it's not really theirs.
Oh, that's a bummer. Just because they're trying to market it better.
The art teacher, whatever, is trying to help the child learn. And with Lily, it can be, you know, she's not at the skill set that maybe somebody else is in their class because they keep them in the same age. And so I think Angie's just like, I'm not sure she did it all, but here's what they sent us. I'm like, well, I love it because it's Lily, so no worries there. But yeah. So anyway, and if you guys saw Pam's birthday video that I did, Lily was in it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so that was my niece.
And I got my fabric.
Yes. And what was funny was the other little girls that were in it are not my nieces, but because Lily calls me Aunt Lynn, I think now they are. Because now I'm Aunt Lynn to them also. So that was kind of fun. They're really my cousins. But it was a great weekend, and I was glad Pam did the stitch in
Ray and I had
me.
A good time.
Yeah, it was the stitch in without me.
We talked about the shame spiral.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, all the dumb stuff you did back to kindergarten just runs through your head when you do one dumb thing now. It's like, oh no. All right, why did I hog the sandbox?
Okay, so this isn't really a book; it's a magazine. And it's called.
She's just not good at directions, y'all.
The Quilt Studio. It's called the Quilting Studio. And I bought it because I wanted to see what other people, studio looked at like. But it does have a lot of different A lot. It's an expensive magazine, y'all. It is not cheap. I think this magazine is $15 for one magazine. So it's like a book. I feel like it's a book. I feel like it should be a book. But they do have different art type of great pictures in it. It does give techniques in it if you're looking for a magazine that's on the high end of the magazines. Not as expensive as Quilt Folk, which is really expensive. But this has different techniques every month. Or not every month. I think it comes out 4 times a year. I don't think it's I know it's not monthly. But beautiful, beautiful. Kind of doesn't always stay with fabric. It's does fiber as well, which is kind of a broader terminology, but really some neat different artists are focused on and stuff. So this is one of the ones I bought. I kind of like it. I like the different uses for quilts, that kind of stuff. Beautiful.
And so you bought it just in like a bookstore, or?
Yeah, totally. I bought it wasn't at Barnes and Noble. What's the one up in Canton?
Books A Million?
Books A Million. That's where I bought it. Because that's kind of our Sunday thing. Like we go up there and we have breakfast at IHOP, and then they have the bookstore right around the corner. And so my husband and I are big bookstore people. Like we like bookstores. And so Books A Million has great magazines, but they also have inexpensive. They'll put a lot of different books on sale and stuff. So
they're kind of discount.
They have great bargain section, and it does change a lot. So we kind of I would say we go there at least twice a month. Like we'll go have breakfast, and then we'll go around the corner and do the bookstore. But we've done that for years. We're big bookstore people. Are you guys bookstore people? Am I just the only bright? You're a bookstore person, right?
I used to be, but now I do it mostly online or through my audiobook app.
Oh, so Pam had told us about, I don't know if this was last time or whatever, some book you were reading. So I bought the first one, and then I got addicted to the series. Thank you, Pam. And so I had to I didn't want to buy every book, and it's not on Kindle Unlimited. So I went and got the library card so I could use the library app. And one, thank you for tipping me off to using the library app. But two, okay, so you go through the library app and you put these books on hold, and then they just show up, and you're like, I'm not ready for that yet. And they're like, you have 14 days. And then the next day, you have 13 days. And I'm like stressed the whole time. Like, am I going to get this done in time?
Okay.
And then there's like one person waiting, 2 people wait. I'm like, oh my gosh.
But you can put yourself back in the line. And so I frequently have issues managing my library hold flow. I will get suddenly 4 books at once. Like, oh no. But what you can do specific to our app or our library, and
I think it's a national app. I don't think it's just
Overdrive or Libby.
Either one will work. Libby.
There is a way on holds to say, if it looks like, I'm going to have 5 books coming at me at once, you can say suspend this hold for 2 weeks, and it'll take you off the hold list, slot you back in.
I so need that.
That's help.
Yeah, because I'm like, I just got done with this book, and now I have 2 more.
Yes, and there's a real good used bookstore near us too. I don't know if you've been there. Book Browser over by the Lowe's on exit 7.
Yeah, go there all the time.
Yeah, so I got to go there because there's a series that I got interested in that one of my coworkers turned me on to, and so books 1 through 3 were available as a combined series, and it's Kevin Hearn, and it's I think Hexed is the first one. Hexed, Hammered. No, Hounded is the first one. It's Hounded, Hexed, and Hammered, and it's the last druid on Earth.
You got me.
That's the Irish Wolfhound one I was talking about.
Oh, I need to read. Oh, y'all! If I had my dream dog, it would be an Irish Wolfhound. I've wanted an Irish Wolfhound for 20 years.
So here's the problem with that book. Because you're checking out 3 books in one book, you only have 2 weeks to read 3 books instead of...
Now, I will say I'm a pretty quick read. Like, I can read fairly quickly through a book.
Yes.
Audiobooks take me longer just because
you're stuck
at their pace.
Even if it's 1.4 speed.
I don't listen to them faster.
No. It's not you texting me. Who is it?
How could I be texting you? Although my phone's right here.
Hello, Ray.
Oh, Ray's talking to us now.
Hooray. The internet says hello.
So, would you please do a show on audiobooks? Okay, maybe. I don't know.
So we have been talking about, does book club stay in this format? Do we expand it? Do we talk about fiction? Like, what do we want to do? So we may, yes.
Yes, it's not off the table. We're looking to revamp this. This is probably the last book club for this season, I guess. Oh, guess what? Mike told me today that I thought was interesting. Our 100th episode is coming up in like 15 episodes.
Okay.
That's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Like in, the media world. I don't know.
We could go into syndication.
No. Oh, that would be funny.
But one of the things we've talked about adding in that people really like is the how should I quilt this segment? But we've been talking through, like, how do we actually execute that?
How do we do that?
Is it all our quilt designs? We don't want to take quilts from other designers in the books and start taking liberties with their designs, because we just don't want to step on their toes. Yeah. So I
want to respect their
right. So we've been trying to figure out how do we make that work. And now that we've figured out the problem with the second camera, that will be fixed on the next show.
Yes.
Or the next live stream.
Yes.
Yeah. Even the virtual live stream, I can have second camera for that one.
Oh
so I could do just like people could just watch me stitch.
You could do it, and I could too, because we're going to get one for here. Do we have 4 cameras?
No.
We can only have 3?
Well, you could have the main one that starts the live stream, a secondary there, and then I have to Skype you to get you into it because of the changes coming to the YouTubes.
Oh, okay.
And I don't think you get secondary camera on Skype.
Okay.
So I made a Facebook post in our group, What's Up Stitches, about like, well, I feel old because I have just had to pepper my teenage son with questions about live streaming technology.
Yeah.
And it was like, well, we could spend $200 or we could get the free software, build our own server to merge live streams, which would end up costing more than $200.
Guess what we did?
Because I would also need therapy, and that's going to be kind of expensive. No. So we spent the $200.
And we've talked about that too. We would love for y'all to send us pictures and us do that. But we were just trying to make sure, yes, we would love that. We would love to get pictures. To repeat
what she's saying, because
okay. So Anne says, "How about if we send you pictures of your quilts and you tell us how to quilt it?" And I love that idea, but we just don't want to depend on to get them at the last minute and how. So I'm not going to say that's off the table. I'm just not going to say that can only be it.
Right.
Because I don't know how many we'd get. Like we could get 2.
That's a lot of stretching for an hour.
Yeah. Totally.
And Jane, I appreciate that your dream dog's a Havanese. I have a friend with a very cute Havanese named Mookie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I met Mookie. Oh, I got a cute picture of him doing the leg splort thing where the dogs just like lay on their stomach and their back legs stick straight back.
My dogs don't do that.
Well, no, your dogs.
My dogs look like a lion.
Touch the floor.
No, they don't. Their stomachs don't touch the floor. They sit on their haunches like a lion would.
Yeah. Fred does that, but then he started doing a gangster lean, just like off to his side, like so.
Oh, Josie does the gangster lean. She wants you to pet her stomach and rub her tummy. So, but that's how I taught him to do that too, as a submissive kind of, get them to calm down or whatever when they were puppies. Rub their tummies kind of thing. But no, I want a big old Irish Wolfhound. That's really what I want. I've wanted one for 20 years. My husband's a little like, those are big dogs. I'm like, yeah, they're big dogs. So anyway. All right. So the last book that I have is the Quilting Arts book. And they put this out in 2008.
Well, it's got Pokey Bolton's name on it. I assume Patricia's her real first name.
I'm assuming that too.
Because that's
Says
her picture
Patricia
on the back.
Bolton. Yeah. But yes. And so this is kind of based off the Quilting Arts TV show that you can see on PBS, and I've seen reruns of it. The host now is Susan
Brubaker
Knapp. We were right there. Who I've taken a class from, and she's really awesome. Susan is. And this has got some of the great techniques in the people who were on Quilting Arts and some of their techniques that they showed on Quilting Arts. So it gives you more information of what was already there. So it's kind of a synopsis of some of the things that you saw in Quilting Arts. And I like this book too. I like this one that's not eye candy. I like this one and the fabric one and the Lyric Canard one. No,
she just
dang
literally
it,
named all the books she likes.
No, I only named 3 of the 6. 6, 7. Anyway. Cool. I know. Pam said, you can't say I like it anymore. I'm like, but I like it.
You're allowed to like stuff. That's not a problem.
What's the problem? I say it too much?
It turns into a filler and it's like, oh, well, we could just move along and talk about something new.
But I like it. All right. So what do we,
Oh, I just brought more of your little fun postcards out.
Oh, yeah.
A fleur.
I don't think that one turned out well.
I thought it was maybe
it looks squid. Like yeah. I wasn't pleased
but it says flower. So
flower.
So she spelled it out literally for us. Like, oh, cool.
Not well, though. It just didn't. That was not successful. Show the one in the bin that's not successful.
Just me. And this one's got the little fun confetti stuff in it.
Yeah. I need to make a bunch more of those. So what I've been doing now. Oh, I will show you.
Oh, yeah. Show us what you're doing.
So one of the techniques I did is a crazy quilt kind of thing in the deal. So it was in the class, I talk about using novelty fabrics. But one of the things I like to do, because I'm always drawing, like I'm always got a pad, pencil with me, something that I can draw with. So one of the things I like to do is draw these little things on fabric, and it's just like little sayings or whatever. And honestly, I go to Pinterest and I look at pictures and I just draw them. These are all for me. I'm giving them away. So there you go. But a lot of them are scripture based. So like She Is Strong is from Proverbs, and Set My Mind on Things Above from Colossians, and It Is Well
you
with
left
My
the word my out.
Set mind on things above. No, I don't think it's my mind. It's just set
you
mind.
said my mind. Okay. Oh. Cool. Sorry, I don't have that.
Well, with
memorized.
So this one I did last night. I went to a thing last night. Be the light of the world. Blessed is she who lives, who believed that the Lord would fulfill her promises to her. Luke 1:45. You are enough. Anyway, I just do all these little drawings on, and I've been taking cheap fabric. Like literally went to a big box store, bought a yard of fabric for $2. And it's the cheap cream solid fabric. And so what I found is that if I cut it up in like, I don't know, 3.5-inch squares or whatever, I am enjoy using these Faber-Castell Pit Art pen. That's what this is, but it's India ink. And when I use the India ink, you can see it doesn't bleed. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of times with markers, using markers on fabric, it bleeds out. Like you can't use Sharpies.
You don't get a crisp line.
You don't get a crisp line. So I've always suggested, and I've always told people my favorite black line is the Pentel gel roller for fabric. I still love this pen. It is great. But it only comes in black. And that frustrated me forever. I learned calligraphy when I was a kid, and these Pentel fabric are these, I would say Faber-Castell. Mm-hmm. Faber-Castell pens come in the calligraphy tip as well as just a brush tip. And they come in all these colors. And so like I'm so excited because now I can make these little things and I just sit. I process what I'm an audio learner. So when people are talking to me, if I'm drawing, I'm totally listening to you. And I'm paying more attention than you realize. So that's what I do as I listen to people and I draw. And people used to think I wasn't paying attention in meetings, and my recall is so much better and I don't know what it is. Well, I guess that's just an audio learner does that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if my focus is here, I'm totally listening to what you're saying. But it doesn't look like it. I'm sneaky that way. Oh, link Amazon. Actually, for the pens.
Yeah.
Is that what you're looking at? Actually, yeah, because Pam didn't expect me to say this.
Nope.
You can get them on Amazon, but I will tell you, Dick Blick sells, I think, the best price on them. Amazon was more expensive than Dick Blick was. So, and the reason I bought these was I was thinking, historically, if you look at Baltimore album quilts, they would draw like the part of the ships and stuff and put their name in them and stuff. They were using India ink. And that is as clear today, 100, 200 years later, as it was when they put it on the quilts. And I was like, this is India ink. I bet it's going to have some, this is Sharpie. This don't use. This is India ink. I bet it's going to have some of the same principles. So I mean, literally, I've been playing with these for the last week. In between the stuff I've been doing for the stitch, sometimes I need to just walk away from my AI issue. And when I say AI, it's Adobe Illustrator.
Not artificial intelligence.
Right. I would get frustrated with, like, I'm learning Adobe Illustrator, so I would get frustrated with what it could do or how I could do it. It can do lots of stuff. I don't know how it can do. So, but there is that. So I have just been playing with these tons this week and just love them. So little art tip there. So there it is. And they have calligraphy. I just bought the calligraphy ones last night. Where I was getting, but when Penny, where I choked on my gum. Was not a smooth move. But real. Literally exactly how it should have happened, honestly. Like, you will surprise me. Oh, yes, I am here. So, anyway.
So, for those that don't know or remember, you want to tell the story of the quilt behind us?
So, we had a challenge in the Quilt Guild. And the challenge was make a quilt of some place you had traveled. So Mike and I had gone to Hawaii, of course, says Hawaii on it. Yeah. And this was a postcard that I had found that was from the I want to say 50s, like post-war.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked it. So I did an interpretation of it. The postcard has lots of other stuff on there. I didn't choose to put on there because it looked hard. And so I took this stuff off. And you can do that when you're making art. You don't have to do exactly what they do. And so I started with the postcard, and then I was like, well, I need to, for it to really read as a postcard, you need to see the back of it. So I did the back of it, and I drew all the kind of detail that you would see kind of on an older postcard and how they're, the artistry of the post and all that kind of stuff. And I thought it was fun to kind of put it behind it. And then I wanted to write on it, and I used a couching technique with yarn. So it says, dear wish, and it looks like it says you and then love. So, when you're out on vacation and you send postcards back, you always say, wish you were here. And it's a lie.
Do not.
I don't think it's true. I think you're just so this is called Wish You Were Here. But the funny thing was, so the guild had this, challenge. And so this was my entry into the challenge, and it didn't get picked. And I truly believe the reason it didn't get picked was because I didn't realize you had to I am not a writer. If you look at all the stuff that gets put out by us, blog posts, all that stuff, it's Pam. I'm a speaker. So I don't like writing stuff down. So when I turned it in, she goes, well, where's your story? And I was like, I had to write a story. Crud. So I put, my husband and I went to Hawaii. We had a good time. That was it.
Thumbs up.
And the other entries had,
I went to Greece.
Verbose. They were verbose. I went to Greece and saw the tile on the chapels. And it was so intricate. I couldn't take my I was just like, I think they were 5 paragraphs long. I'm serious. It was like a 5-page theme on some of these. I'm telling you. And so
let us count.
They literally laughed at me. And they didn't know it was me because it was blind. They were just saying
it was anonymous.
It was anonymous. That was it. Yeah.
Well, I will say, so I entered a later challenge with my clamshell quilt.
Yes.
And we had the name. We had to write a story to go with it.
I don't like writing the story. Don't make me write the story.
And my story was basically in the name because it was 3 colors for a 1-patch quilt. And so you got an envelope that you just pulled randomly, and it gave you the 3 crayon colors, and you could go shades lighter or darker. And my colors were orange, the metallic silver crayon, and a green crayon. And I was like, well, this looks like the Irish flag, but a little jaunty because it's got silver, like a disco ball instead of white. And so my quilt name, I went with a clamshell. And so my quilt name is Feeling Clammy at the Irish Disco. And that's the story right there of ta-da. And so what I had written up for that, and I don't know if they read it aloud.
They did at both meetings.
And basically I was like, I got these crayons that look like a funky Irish flag. And this made me think of the disco. That was my story. And I still won.
She won.
So
now, that being said.
Yes. I did pretty good work on it.
Well, I think it's interesting that we both entered is the same guild challenge. One year it was kind of geared towards the artists, and the next year it was geared towards the piecers. And the one you entered, I didn't enter the one she entered, and she didn't enter the one I entered because I think
I tend not to do the art ones because
I tend not to do the piecing ones.
Yeah,
because I'm like, so it's all in what you relate to, that kind of stuff.
I've been on art kicks for a while.
Yeah, and I will tell you, I was so proud of you when you won that. I was I stood up and yelled. She wasn't even at the meeting.
Well, I knew
and they announced it. I was like, wow. I was the only one in the room. Nobody else knew.
It was 200 people.
200 people were there. Meeting. I'm like, yeah, Pam. So it was awesome. And I'm like, I think I had you on.
Oh, you called me.
I called her. You won.
Yeah, because our friend Brian was there too.
It was my birthday too.
Oh.
Remember, because we had the party that night and I gave it to you. Because I collected it at the.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I collected it at the meeting and I brought it to her at my party. I gave for myself. I gave myself a 50th birthday party. It was great fun.
I threw myself a lot of cakes for my birthday season.
You had so many cakes.
All the cakes.
Dear.
All the cakes.
I got one piece of one cake. It was the best
well, the
cake.
first cake
of all the cakes. Of all the cakes, though, was it not the best cake?
Absolutely.
It was.
Opening season for cake was disappointing because it was a store-bought cake for a family event where we go celebrate all the July birthdays because there's 6 of us that have July birthdays. And I was like, I'll bring the cake. That way I can get something I like. Well, there was a mix-up at the store. They didn't have it ready, so I had to just pick a ready-made one. Whatever. It was not that good. It was disappointing.
That's sad.
That is sad. So I went from there,
that's a sad birthday.
2 weeks before my birthday, or no, that was a week before my birthday, to then we start leading into okay. So for the virtual stitch-in, I had made the decadent bacon chocolate brownies.
Those are so good.
And I ate one on air. And that was delicious.
This is why I didn't watch it right there.
Delicious.
That's why. Yeah, I bet it was.
And then I got myself a good cake from the store when I didn't realize my husband was
The
planning on
local
getting me
grocery
one.
store here, Publix, they make the
And
best
so
cakes.
I had texted him like, "Oh, I'm just coming back from the store, got my cake," and he was like, "I was gonna get your cake." Like, I was like, "Sorry, got what I wanted." And then our friend Ray made me key lime pie cake, which is the best.
And let me just say, she makes it for you every year. Like
I made it for
like
myself
4
one year.
years.
Yeah.
At
Well,
least.
I used to just send her recipes like, hey.
She's a really good baker.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
So she made it the first year as an experiment, and I was like, "This is amazing, and I need this cake every year, please."
It is good. I have to admit that's a non-keto day right there.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, we were all feeling it the next day.
Oh,
we had like the
I was
giant
feeling it that
30-inch
night.
pizza.
I was like, I can't believe I ate that. Oh Lord, help me. And they get this giant 30-inch pizza. Seriously, y'all, the pieces are this big.
Yes, they don't. You have to like fold it in half, and it still won't fit on a plate.
No, it's stupid crazy, freaking tasty, stupid crazy.
It's New York style thin crust.
Oh, so good, so good. Anyway, yeah.
Anyway,
so yes, that was the.
So anyway, I had a physical yesterday. Turns out I need to eat more salad. Who knew?
You're like my sister. Like she went to have her physical done right after they got back from vacation on a cruise for like whatever.
Well, so I used to do it.
And she's
in
like, wonder why the cholesterol was up.
Yeah, mine was too.
Because you ate junk for the past week and a half being on vacation. That could be it.
Well, I used to do my physicals in April, but then like you get the reminder and you're like, oh, I need to schedule it. But the reminder is not far enough advance for you to get the appointment around the same time. And so it would slip like 2 weeks later and 2 weeks later and 2 weeks later. And now I'm just like, oh, I got to remember to schedule it a month before my birthday. So I gave myself a to-do.
She's loving this app. This app is,
but it's not in a shared project. So
well, I understand that. I don't need to know when you're scheduling your doctor's appointment.
Good times.
Anyway, good times.
But now I got to schedule the follow-up. I have to go get my mammogram, like a good woman.
Yeah.
It's fine. We were discussing it before we started live streaming. There's a nice grandmotherly tech that does it all at the radiology department near us.
I can't believe you're talking about this.
It's a mammogram. It's a health thing.
It is.
I got boobs. I want them to stick around.
Good point. I can't argue with that. So anyway, there's 3 minutes left.
3 minutes left. What's coming up? Episode 424, last one of season 4, drops on Friday.
Yes, the last episode. Oh my gosh. Of season 4. And then stick around to see if we renew.
Fingers crossed. Hope the executive producer picks this up.
I think we'll have a meeting. Actually, we've already filmed some stuff, so there you go.
We could burn it.
We could burn it.
It hadn't been edited together yet.
True, it hasn't. So, do you want to show them the postcards that I made in the class? I don't know. This may. No. Oh, yeah. No. I think they're in the middle. This. Oh, you've redone them all.
I didn't redone them all. You redone them all.
This one.
We already showed the bird one.
This one. Okay.
What about cowboys? But that's not in the class.
That's not in the class. So here's a fun. This one we did in the class.
Lady talk. Actually, you technically did this one.
No, that was the sample. This is the one I actually did during the class.
Well, I didn't take the class.
Apparently not. This one. Oh, and I show you how to dye stuff behind it. This one. Wish upon a star.
More glitter.
Yay. The weaving one we already showed you, which is super cool. Picked for you.
Weaving and couching.
Cute. Yes.
I kind of want to put a nose on it though.
Why?
Picked for you. Oh. Pick your friends. You can pick your nose. Can't pick your friend's nose, Lit.
Really? Yes, really.
Look, I may be
I'm going to become the change
that requires a mammogram, but I'm still going to make nose picking jokes. Can't keep a good woman down.
When you have a teenager in the house, I think these are common occurrences.
Yes.
Yes. So, all right.
We had a discussion about hamburger buns, and my son and I looked at each other and laughed because someone said the word buns. Just can't help it.
There you go. All right. What do
Joan has a question, and then
stiffness in your cards? I use comic book backer boards.
It's a very stiff cardstock.
Mm-hmm.
It is
and it's archival quality.
Ding.
Ding. You can see all my gray hair. Look at all my gray hair. See?
Is that all of it?
Yep, that's pretty much it. Right there. I want to go gray. I know I keep talking about this, but one of these days I'm going to do it. I'm going to go gray.
Okay.
Completely gray. Are you guys going to be okay if I go gray? Just going to dye it all gray.
Okay.
I'm going gray anyway. Might as well do it.
All right. Just feels like maintenance. Because then you're going to have dark roots come in.
Oh, that's true. All right.
Well, there you go.
There you
go.
go.
Well, thank you all for joining us. Stay tuned. Episode 424 drops next Friday. Postcard classes at learn.thestitchtvshow.com if you're interested. Links for the books are here. I will dig up a link to the India ink pins that we talked about and get that up later. So thanks. Bye.
Bye.